if you join ex-mormon subreddit than our Latter-day Saint subreddit, you're more likely to dress up as an animal and yiff somebody.
Hey there YouTube, I'm FURRIES Latter-day Skeptic. Today we're going to be going over a video made by the Midnight Mormons in a pathetic attempt to smear a prominent ex-Mormon named Bill Reel.
You need to watch this. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. Keep the meat in the seat because I can't even, this is just too good to be true. Okay.
The video is a cringy and fallacious attempt to smear Bill, and I couldn't stand to not make a response. Check it out.
Our buddy Bill Reel here basically pointed out that the ex-Mormon subreddit is exploding in comparison to the Mormon subreddit. The blue line being the ex-Mormon subreddit, the orange line being, you know, the RLDS or whatever it is that subredditors use.
Bill Reel put out a chart that showed the comparison between r/ex-Mormon and r/Latter-day Saints, popular subreddit pages. The graph showed that r/ex-Mormon had 5 times the number of members that r/Latter-day Saints had. Nothing here was incorrect, but of course it triggered the Midnight Mormons.
I noticed something really quickly, that this growth curve right here, that blue line of the ex-Mormon subreddit, looks almost exactly like the growth rate of microbial bacteria in healthy flesh in comparison to non-healthy flesh. The graph of antidepressant usage spiked between 2015 and 2018 as well in Spain, another country in the quote developed Western world. So there's a bigger correlation between the graph of ex-Mormons and what these 4 groups, furries.
Okay, this is a good exercise to show that correlation is not good evidence for causation. But I'm sure they'll present some actual evidence for causation here in a second.
Wait a second. So can we say that according to the actual data presented by anti-Mormons trying to attack active members of the church, they proved you have a better chance of being a furry in the ex-Mormon subreddit than in the active Mormon subreddit using their very own data? Can we actually say that as a real sentence?
Okay, wow. These guys actually didn't have any evidence at all. But Cardin, I'm glad you asked the question. Here's a very quick breakdown on Stats 101.
A is correlated with another, B. There are a few possible reasons. A causes B, B causes A. There is a third variable, C, that causes both A and B, even though A and B aren't related, or there's no relationship at all. It's just coincidence.
For this example, the 2 variables are ex-Mormon membership and furry membership.
2 variables might indeed move in the same direction and the relationship may be quite strong, but this doesn't mean we can draw a, let's say, cause and effect conclusion.
You see, Cardin, just because the graphs look similar, you can't say that one necessarily is related to the other. It's common for graphs to look the same, but that's not enough to prove their relationship to each other. But Cardin, I'm glad you asked, and I hope I clarified.
You have a better chance of being a furry if you are ex-Mormon subreddit.
If you join ex-mormon subreddit than our Latter-day Saint subreddit, you're more likely to dress up as an animal and yiff somebody.
Damn, I thought we were over this. Their lack of understanding between correlation and causation is embarrassing. I haven't decided if they're actually this uneducated in basic math or if they're just lying to smear ex-Mormons. Either way, it's not a good look for them.
Is that what you want to become? You know, anyone who's like wondering about what they're gonna do, like if they're questioning the church and like by their fruits ye shall know them, right? I don't know. Is this the kind of thing that you want to be going towards?
How many
Brad is usually considered one of the nicer ones of the bunch, but his participation in this episode really hurt his reputation. Him asking, "Is this what you want?" to somebody in a faith crisis is really pathetic.
You gotta cross-reference that subreddit with just some other data first and make sure that that subreddit graph doesn't directly correlate with the explosion of furry activity.
Oh, the irony in getting data advice from a guy like Cardin. He literally must have skipped his high school stats class.
And the crossover and the overlay of those 2 groups, that you are more strongly correlated to be a furry active in the ex-Mormon subreddit. How do these stats overlap each other? How does it work?
Oh, I don't know. All I've got is these.
Did you guys see that? Cardin was trying to explain the causation, but couldn't figure it out. He couldn't get past just the correlation. Then he called in Brad for help, and Brad didn't know either.
How do these stats overlap each other? How does it work?
Oh, I don't know.
I kid you not, this was at the end of the video, after they had already mocked and laughed at ex-Mormons and Bill Reel. After lecturing us about double-checking the data, they don't even know how their own graphs are related. Okay, enough of us teaching Stats 101 to the Midnight Mormons. Let's let them teach us a little bit about furries from their in-house expert.
Kwaku, please.
So, believe it or not, in my comms class, we had to do a project on an absolute disaster, on a media disaster for communications, okay?
Okay.
So I did something called a project on something called FurryCon.
Of course you did, as if there weren't any other good options about media disasters. And you happen to know about an event that virtually no one has heard about, and you also knew it was a media blunder?
FurryCon is a real convention of furries. Specifically, what yiffing is. You don't accidentally wind up on Reddit yiff. Furries invented their own sound called yiff. So when they say, they yiff each other.
Wow, that was painful. I'm sure your project about the media disasters of FurryCon entailed you learning the intimate details of furry sexuality.
Yeah, so
I know I have a guess as to what YAH stands for.
what?
No, what is it? What is it?
Yipping in him.
Did you guys catch that? I know what YAH stands for. I mean, I have a guess. Sounds a lot like a cover-up. And again, why do you know so much about furry sexuality when the project is about media disasters?
Whenever you decide church is bad, church is false, all that stuff, and you should explore every single part of your identity or whatever, obviously you give yourself a no-holds bar, and maybe internet pornography and perversion becomes a big thing. And you don't have any more guilt. And you don't have anyone stopping you from just really falling into... I'm sorry, whenever you decide no holds bar, you know what happens? You might find yourself getting into some weird stuff. Like furry and yiffing.
Look at that.
Okay, it all makes sense now. Kwaku is concerned that without religion to hold back our sexual desires, we're all destined for a path of debauchery and potential furryism. Sorry, but it sounds more like you're talking about yourself here, Kwaku.
So basically what you're telling me is that Bill Reel is a depressed furry. Is the case? That's what I'm getting. Is Bill Reel a furry? I'm just asking the question. Is he? I think he gets yiffed by Tony the Tiger. That's all I'm saying. I know. I'm just saying it. That would make sense to me. How many of these guys have a tab open that says R? Yiff furry. Watch me yiff this Franklin the Turtle. Like, why is that? These guys, these Exmos yiffing each other. All I'm saying is I will give $1 million to anybody who can prove that in 2016 Bill Reel did not get yiffed by Mickey Mouse.
Why is it that Kwaku is so interested in the yiffing habits of these guys? It's starting to sound a little creepy. Okay, in all seriousness, I'm just having a little fun highlighting their fundamental misunderstanding of statistics and maybe using some of their smear tactics against them. Smearing others is standard MO for the Midnight Mormons, and their video was a perfect example of how they'll manipulate the information to push their agenda. Luckily for us, anyone with a high school level of statistics will see through this kind of garbage. As far as Kwaku's obsession with furries goes, your guess is as good as mine. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that Kwaku taught you how to yiff. Yiff, 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 yiff. That's all I've got. I'm Forrest, Latter-day Skeptic. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.